Hello, fourth graders. Welcome back to math. This is Unit 8, Lesson 4 now. So we're skipping ahead again a little bit. And today we're going to focus on two different ways to name triangles. It's going to continue directly from Monday's lesson of naming angles and then have a few new vocabulary words as well. So what you're going to need is your pencil, your scratch paper, and your math journal. Let's go ahead and get started. So last lesson on Monday, when we went through this, we talked about a right angle, a small acute angle, and a large obtuse angle. We're going to name triangles pretty much the same way, and all you need to do is just connect that angle, and that's what's going to help us name it. So you could probably imagine if a triangle has a right angle in it, it is going to be called a right triangle. If a triangle has three acute angles in it, this is acute, this is acute, this is acute, it is an acute angle. The big thing there is all three need to be acute. And then for an obtuse, if you have just one obtuse angle in a triangle, we call it obtuse triangle, right? Because we have two acute angles here, but one really big obtuse angle. So if there's one obtuse angle, it's an obtuse triangle. Three acute angles is an acute triangle, and one right angle is a right triangle. Okay, let's get some practice with that. So turn to page 407, and this just explains what we just talked about, right? And it gives you the directions with an example here. So your right triangle, big obtuse triangle, and an acute triangle, okay, less than 90 degrees. Okay, so let's go through some of these together, and I want to talk about naming angles and naming triangles as well. So it says you can also use letters to write and talk about the triangles. The triangle, this triangle is triangle QRS. Name its three angles and their type. Well, this symbol says you're naming a triangle, and then QRS, you can name it in any order you want. QRS, SQR, RSQ, you can go backwards to however you want to name it as long as you get all three corners or vertices. That's how you name triangles. Very similar to how we named our angles last week. So we are on Monday. So we have angle SQR, where Q is the center of the angle, QRS, and RSQ. So it could look something like this, and they can go in any order, right? And so we could say QRS, that's where my right angle is, right here. That symbol gives it away that that's a right angle when it has that box in there, in that angle. Well, RSQ is this angle with S in the middle, and then SQR is angle, sometimes we even call it just angle Q. And so now use this information to figure out what kind of triangle is it. So which definition does triangle QRS fit? Is it a right triangle? It has one right angle right here. So it has to be a right triangle. It has 0 obtuse angles, and it has 2 acute angles, but it needs 3. And so we know that it is a right triangle because it has one right angle shown by this small square here. That symbol means it's a right angle, which makes it a right triangle. Okay, so I want you to use the grid below to try and draw a right triangle, an obtuse triangle, and an acute triangle. Use these examples here to help you. See if you can figure out how to get an acute, a right, and an obtuse angle. And I know you can't see mine, but the grid below. Okay, pause it now and try and draw those things. All right, so you might have had something like this. If it's acute, it has 3 small angles, or 3 angles less than this 90 degree. Okay? If it's obtuse, it just has one big angle. And then you're right, get as close as you can with it. Okay. So now the next part we're going to do is we're going to try and classify these angles and name them, right? But where it says explain your thinking, we're going to tell what part of the definition it fits. So if you need to go back, right, and use these once in a while to say, oh yeah, that's right, acute has to have all 3, absolutely do it. And you're going to want to do that with your homework today too. Okay, so let's do these together. We'll do the 2 rows together, and then you can do 2 on your own. So name each triangle. Okay, so this triangle here, I see acute, acute, acute. So it's got to be an acute triangle because it has 3 acute angles. Oh, right away I see this. This is going to be my right triangle because it has that box. It's got one right angle. And if I'm going too fast, just slow down and pause me. And then for number 6, well, it looks like that's acute, and that's acute. So this is a different shape than number 4, but they are both acute triangles. Okay. Look at number 7. 7's different. 7 has this big angle. That is bigger than a right angle, and it's obtuse. And I know if it has one obtuse angle, it is an obtuse triangle. Once again, look at number 8. There's a clue, a big clue. I know what that is. That's a right angle. That means this is a right triangle. And then number 9, it's kind of hard to tell, but there's no box here. This almost looks like 90 degree, but it's kind of slanted a little more open. And so it's a little bit bigger than a right angle, which makes this an obtuse angle. And so I know that's going to be an obtuse triangle because it has one obtuse angle. Okay, your job is to try and figure out these 6 triangles, label them, and tell which angle you use to figure that out. Go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, let's see how you did. All right, 2 acute and an obtuse. There's the one obtuse angle right there, that big one. And then with the last 3, you know this right away was a right, and then you have, here's a big obtuse angle, and then right here is your big obtuse angle. And then the idea with number 16, describe how angles make triangles different from one another, and what they're looking at is the bigger the angle, like the obtuse here, the longer its opposite side is going to be. So if you have a small angle, that often leads to a shorter side. A longer angle, a larger angle, leads to a longer opposite side. Okay, that's our first way of measuring triangles. The other way we're going to use is on page 409. We're going to use these 3 words, and now we're going to name it by its side. Okay, so equilateral. Equal is in there. All 3 sides are equal. They're all going to be the same length, and you can see the sides have dashes through them. That tells us, that's a symbol in math to say every side with one line in it here is equal. So since all 3 are equal, we call it equilateral. Okay, remember, we're naming just by length of sides now. And then there's this word is called isosceles. Okay, equal legs. So if you think we have 2 legs, right? So isosceles means there are 2 equal sides or equal legs of the triangles. And you see these 2 lines right here? That means the bottom side here is equal to the top side. And the left side is clearly shorter than the other 2. So that's why it's not equilateral, because it only has 2 equal sides. We call that isosceles. And then the third type, you don't see any lines here. We say this is scalene. And that means all the sides are different lengths. So this side is really long, this side is really short, and this one's in the middle. Okay? And so we see these symbols right here. I want to use these, think of all what these lines mean, right? To try and figure out, and we can do it together, and that's totally fine. Try and figure out which ones are equal. So write the letter names for the scalene triangle. So what I would do is I'd go back up and I'd say, okay, scalene, oh, this is where they're all different. So as I look at this, all different, okay? Well, let's see, DEF has 0 lines through it. So that means all 3 sides are different. And same with TSU, or in this case, they call it STU, right? And so you can use the triangle symbol to name those 2. And that means that these are what we call scalene. Well, equilateral, you know, is all the same. Well, these lines give it away. All 3 dashes means PQ and R is an equilateral triangle, and so is ABC. It's equilateral as well because it has all 3 sides the same. And then for the last one, isosceles, this is kind of a tricky one. So the answer we're looking for is GHI, because if you go to the top, isosceles, oh yeah, it means 2 sides are equal. So this is isosceles because it has the left and the right side equal. And then our other one is right next to it, JKL, right? The left and the right are equal again, and the third side is not the same as the other 2. Technically, though, you could say ABC and and PQR, and you would be right, because not only does it have 2 equal sides, it's got all 3. But usually we say that's going to be equilateral, but you would be right if you said it's also isosceles. Okay? And so now let's get some practice with that. As we're doing this, come back and look at this, and I even have it, I put it on the next page too, but this is what you probably are going to want to use on the homework today. Okay, so I'm going to go through, let's go through and try these and see what we have here. I see no marks here, right? So that tells me it's scalene because 0 equal sides. Once again, no marks here tells me it's scalene, 0 equal sides. Ooh, I see 2. Can you remember what that word was? 2 equal sides makes it isosceles. And flip the page back if you need to as you're going to do these. Okay. 2 equal sides, again, that's the same as my last one, isosceles. I have 2 isosceles in a row. Here's 2 more equal sides. And then, oops, I already showed you the last one, all 3 sides are equilateral. So now what I want you to do is go ahead and do the next 2 rows, right? See if you can figure it out. Pause the video now. All right, let's see how you did. So we had all scalene because none of these have lines through them. And then we had one of each down here. 3 equal sides, no equal sides, 2 equal sides. Okay? And explain how sides make triangles different. What we're thinking about is this is what's getting you ready to go into 5th grade. We don't do area and perimeter with triangles. We do some perimeter, but next year you will do a lot of that. And the different lengths, we're going to give it a different perimeter and area. Okay? Now, your job is going to be doing 8.4. Use that chart from your math journal, this one down here. Use this chart to help you with the problems in Think Central, and then go on and do that extra Excel practice. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Let your teacher know if you need any help at all.